Good afternoon, Commander. Your virtual copilot is starting. All systems are now fully operational. What mischief shall we make today? We are in the Chubb Kamui system, landed on Meneli. We are aboard the Bourbon, a Krite Mark II. The maximum jump range for this ship is 26.72 light years.
Profanity mode off.
Confirmed. I'll try to keep it clean.
So 07 commanders, so this is Commander Razafrag, and I'm just going to give you a quick demo of my EDCoPilot application. So I'm sitting in VR and I have my EDCoPilot GUI showing through an overlay software. I'm using OVR Drop. You can also use OVR Toolkit, or if you have Oculus, you can use Virtual Desktop that comes with the headset. So the idea of Copilot is to be able to use VR without having to keep taking your headset off to type stuff or to go look up stuff on an ARA, basically. So I'm able to do all of that using voice commands. Now, although I've designed it for VR and voice, you can also use it on a dual monitor. So you have Elite running on one monitor and you have the Copilot running on the other monitor, and you're able to click on the buttons with your mouse to access, I would say, 80% of the functionality currently in the application, and I'm working on trying to make the other piece accessible for non-voice users as well. So as you can see, this is the main display. Along the top we have some running totals. They will change as we do different things in the game. Down the left hand side we have some category buttons which basically access different functions within Copilot application. On the right hand side there are a set of VCR buttons which will light up when you're able to scroll up and down the display, and the one in the bottom right hand corner lets you go back to your previous screens. So when I'm playing in VR, which is most of the time, this is where I have Copilot sitting. Usually a little bit smaller than this, but I've made it a bit larger just so you can see this text a little bit easier. I use OVR Drop because it has a couple of cool features, such as the transparency, so I can still see the planet through the panel, and it has the zoom function as well. So if I look away from it a little bit, you'll see it shrinks down a little, and I can shrink that very small if I want to, and then when I look at it, it zooms up, so it's not always obscuring my view. So that's the general idea. Let's get started with some location searches so you can see what it does. So let's say we want to go to a raw material trader. I can just say raw material trader, and Copilot will go look up the closest material trader to me.
The best destination for a raw materials trader is LFT-78, which is 20.83 light years from you. Head to Koi Orbital, an Ocellus starport that is 12 light seconds from the star.
So as the panel says, if I want to go to set course for LFT-78, I can just say set course because that's the recommended one. If I want to go to any of the alternatives down there, I can just say system and then the number that's to each of the systems. So for example, if I wanted to go to Keros, which is 22, I could just say system 22. For now, I'll just set course for the recommended. Set course.
Setting course for LFT-78.
So
New course laid in for LFT78. System is just one jump away.
and I have to remember he's going to keep jumping in and interrupting me when I'm trying to talk to you guys. So I'll probably trip over that a few times. So apologies in advance. So there we go. So we've just found the raw material trader and we've set course to it. And I have not had to lift my headset at all or type a single thing on my keyboard. Similarly, I have a bookmark system in here, which I will show you. Show all bookmarks. So this is a list of all the systems that I have added to bookmarks, and Copilot has a setting where you can automatically bookmark any system that you have set as a destination. So that could be through your normal navigation panel in the game, or if you do a search and you say go to that location, it will also add it to your bookmarks. I have 59 pages of bookmarks at the moment. You are able to delete them, edit them, make notes on them, all using voice commands. The only thing where you have to type is when you want to actually type in the notes. And I am thinking of adding a dictation to that using Cortana, but it's a little bit clunky. So given the amount of times I do notes at the moment, I'll just live with that for the time being. So similarly to the system list, if I want to set course for any of these bookmarks, I can use the command number on the side there, and it will set course for that system. You'll also see there are some systems which have underlines on them. So Copilot remembers the last 125 systems that you have set course for, and it will be able to recognize by name the set course command. So for example, iIndy is system 7 on there. I could say system 7 to set course for iIndy, but because I've been there recently, within the last day, I can say set course for iIndy.
Setting course for iIndy.
And it will recognize. Let me just let him do his thing.
New course laid in for iIndy. Just the one jump to get there, Commander.
Okay, so that's basic bookmark setting. To add a bookmark, either you set a course for a place from a search, you can copy a system name to your clipboard with the Control-C, and then just say bookmark that location, and he'll add it that way. Or there is a add manual bookmark function where it'll pull up a little panel and you can type it in. That's okay for the flat screeners, but for VR, yeah, not so much. If I want to see other systems other than the ones which I have bookmarked, Copilot remembers all of the systems you've ever been to, and they are hidden behind here. They're just not proper bookmarks. As well as I'm able to pull in lists of systems which are local to us. So let's say, for example, I want to see all of the systems which are around me. I can use my filters, and there's a list of filters at the bottom there, but there's one for local systems. So if I was on flat screen, I could just click on the local systems and then the add filter, and it would add it. The voice equivalent of that is me saying show local systems. And Copilot will pull in the list of all the systems around me. Everything in gold is a non-bookmarked system that it's added to the list because of my criteria. That's a lot of bookmarks. You can see there's 630 something pages of 18 bookmarks to a page, or systems to a page, to sort through. So the filters sort of help you narrow down some of the things that you want to get to. The reason why there's so many just been added is I've pulled in a list of every system within 20 light years of me. Next. Next. And I can scroll down the list using the next commands. But it also will be displaying every system within 150 light years that I've ever visited as well. I can tune that, but this seems reasonable at the moment. If I want to go to stuff that's, say, 200 light years from me, I can say go to 200 light years. And it will jump
Confirm,
to
Commander.
the first bookmark that is 200 light years away from where I am. Reset filters will put me back to my standard bookmark group.
All filters
bookmark
reset,
list.
Commander.
So I'm back to my 59 pages. If I want to, I can apply other filters as well. So for example, if I wanted to just show places where I have discovered interstellar factors, I can hide all bookmarks, which will clear the list, and then I can say show interstellar factors. And up will come all of the list of systems that have interstellar factors that I have discovered either through the search or that I have actually visited. So on the bookmark display here, we have the system numbers on the left, then the system name itself, or the label that I've given to that bookmark. And you can have different labels for the same bookmarks within different groups, and I'll talk about bookmark groups in a minute. And then we have a set of icons, and in that information there is the allegiance of the system is the first symbol, followed by the last time I was in that system. So for example, AHI, which is system 6, I was last there 50 days ago. I have visited that system 3 times. It has an interstellar and it's a Federation allegiance system. It's 13.8 light years from me, as you can see from the distance. Now I'm able to sort the bookmarks by distance, or I can sort them by name as well. And when you sort them by name, you can then jump to the first 2 letters of the system name if you want to sort of position your way through them. To do that, you would use the phonetic alphabet. So for example, if I wanted to go to all the systems that start with AB, I could say all bookmarks from Alpha Bravo. So it will sort the list alphabetically and then position me on the first screen, which has a system with Alpha Bravo in its name. Okay. Reset filters. Alright, so
all filters reset, Commander.
So that's bookmarks. I'll talk quickly about bookmark groups. So bookmark groups are folders that you can put assigned bookmarks to. So let me show you the list. Bookmark groups. So here's a list of the bookmark group categories that I have defined. Most of these come predefined when you install Copilot. You can set your own ones up as well. You call them whatever you like as a folder name. Once you name them, Copilot will recognize the name through a voice command. So for example, I have an engineers bookmark group there. If I want to see all of the bookmarks that are in my engineers group, and it's telling me there are 21 in that group, I can say show engineers bookmarks. And there's my list. And when I mentioned labels before, so what I've done in this bookmark group is I've labeled all of my systems with the name of the engineer followed by the system name, so I know who's where. Okay. There is color feature for this as well, so you can turn colors on and off. If you're on flat screen, there's a little button at the bottom there, or you can use the button color on command, which will enable the colors that you have assigned. I haven't assigned any to engineers bookmark groups. So I've colored a few bookmark groups, and then within some of the bookmarks groups themselves, you can also color code the bookmarks. Show combat bookmarks. So there you go. So I've color coded some within there as well. When you have multiple colors for the same bookmark groups, whichever bookmark group you've assigned as the primary for that system, when you do the show all bookmarks, it will use the color of the primary bookmark group to display it. You'll get the gist when you try them out. So you've got the option to toggle on and off the colors. In VR, I kind of prefer it in monochrome, so I put in the toggle because I like to be able to see through my Copilot display and see what's going on the other side. Button color off. Button color off. Button color off. So of course it's got to play up now. Button color off. Color button off. Button color off. Button color off. Button colors off. Finally got the right command. Sometimes VoiceAttack can be a little picky. Alright, so that's about it. So I'll just show you some of the location searches. Location search. So this is the main location results screen, which will have all the results of anything that you've queried. So there's the result from my raw materials trader up the top there. There's a bunch of buttons that you can click on if you're in flat screen to invoke some of the commands, or through voice you can just say what's on the button to get to those menus. You don't have to go through the panels though. When you remember the commands, you can just go straight to them. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we want to buy a commodity. I can lead it through the panels by just following what's on the buttons. Buy or sell commodities. Let's buy building fabricators. Building fabricators. Okay, so now I get the choice of what type of what type of location do I want to look for, based on, is it closest to me, is it the best in my vicinity, which is a balance of price and distance. Recommended is it's kind of close to me and it's within the sort of the price range of the best price that you can get anywhere, and then there's the absolute lowest price that I can buy it for in the galaxy. So let's try the lowest price. Buy lowest price.
The cheapest system to buy building fabricators, excluding fleet carriers, is Ozan, which is 177 light years from you. Head to Wetherill platform, a civilian outpost that is 717 light seconds from the star. Last price was 174 credits, with a quantity of 6,130 tons, 1 day ago. Destination has a medium-sized landing pad.
So there you go. So it's picked the one with the absolute lowest price. It's further away, but if making money is your thing, then maybe the extra distance is worth it. I'm not saying it is for building fabricators, but hey, to each their own. Again, if you don't want to go to that one, you can pick any other one in the list. So that's using the location search panel. Location search. Location search. So the other way to do it is, when you learn the commands, you can just say best location to buy building fabricators.
The recommended system to buy building fabricators, excluding fleet carriers, is Baiwi, which is 36.09 light years from you. Head to Saudi Ring, a Coriolis starport that is 283 light seconds from the star. Last price was 191 credits, with a quantity of 381 tons, 2 days ago.
So there you go. So directly just pulling up, what do I want to find? I can do that for anything. If I want to find raw materials trader, raw materials trader.
The best destination for a raw materials trader is LFT78, which is 20.83 light years from you. Head to Koi Orbital, an Ocellus starport that is 12 light seconds from the star.
Okay, so that's search and setting course, which are kind of two of the big bugbears for VR users. I've also built a bunch of other things into Copilot. So it remembers lots of stats. It learns all of your journal files. When you first load it up, you get it to run through them all and build a profile for each of your commanders. If I looking down the list here, system history, for example, will give me a list of everything I've ever done in this system. System history. System history. Okay, so it breaks it into activity sets from when I've started and then jumped out of a system. I've been in Chapkamui many times. I can scroll down this list using the next and previous or page up and page down. Next. Next. Go to the bottom. And you'll see, 128 times I've either started here or I've jumped into the system. And that's my last session right there, where I started in the system, came down to the planet, and I landed, and you can see the latitude and longitude of my current position. Similarly, event logs will just tell you everything I've done this session. Event logs. Event logs. And I haven't done much this session yet, but I can see my previous event log. Previous event log. So there's another. There you go. Previously, I was in Nanabozho. I super cruised in. I got into some combat, and then I jumped to Chapkamui. So that's event logs. Discovery calculator, mining. They're very dependent on if you're into exploration or if you're into mining. Discovery calculator will give you an estimate similar to ED Discovery of how much money you're making as you go around and scan and map systems and bodies. And mining statistics, if you have a system that you have mined in, will give you stats on how much stuff have you found and how long has it taken you. I'll just show you that one quick. Bookmarks. Hide all bookmarks. Show mined locations. Show mined locations. Show mined systems. I wrote the thing and I still can't remember half the commands, which is why there's a command reference that's actually on board. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so I have actually mined in two different systems. I can see what I have got using the mining statistics function, which I can actually reference the system number. So if I want to see what have I mined in LFT65, I can say mining stats 2. And it will give me the report of what have I mined, when did I do it, what was my yield rate like, and what exactly was it that I found while I was there. Okay, alright, so let's, I'm going to get off this planet and go up to Savonic platform just to demonstrate a other feature of Copilot.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive recharging. 4, 3.
System is just one jump away.
1. Engage.
He thinks I'm going to do a jump. Another thing for my fix list. Alright. So I'm adding features to this all the time. I have about 50 users at the moment who are my alpha testers. And they basically put up with the occasional crash. And then they don't have to actually report it to me because I'm logging all of the crashes that happen on my back-end server. So I can just get on with it, and as they're playing around, all they have to do is restart. If it doesn't restart, then obviously there's something pretty drastic wrong, and that's where I get involved. But those aren't very often. and usually they just restart and keep playing, and I'll get the error report and can work on the bug so it doesn't happen again. Alright, so I'm going to nip up to Savnik, where if I can find it in my list. Unfortunately, I can't target stations through my bookmarking. I can only target systems at the moment. Okay, there he is, Savnik. So I'm hoping that one day we'll be able to type in the names of stations in the galaxy map, and it will actually set it as the end destination rather than just the system that it does today. So Frontier, if you're listening, that would be a great feature. Thank you very much. Alright, heading over to Savnik. Try not to overfly, although I have a good track record of overflying. Alright, here we are.
Station fact is available.
Okay, so when I dropped here, Copilot knows that there is a Galnet page on Inara for talking about who the station is named for. I've seen the fact before, so it just tells me it's available if I want to see it again. If it's a station that I first dropped into and I've never seen it before, it will automatically display the fact in my panel. But because I've been here before and I've seen it, it just says, oh, it's there, and I can pull it up if I want with the station fact command. Station fact. So there's the station fact for Savnik platform, as taken from the Inara page. Okay. Alright, I am going to head over now to Artemis just to demonstrate another feature that I just added just a day ago. We will see. I'm feeling brave. I know it's going to work, so I'll demonstrate it.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
So the great thing about the Copilot with VR is it really does feel like you've got something there that's helping you. You know, I originally thought of it as an Alexa for Elite, via VoiceAttack. And I gradually built in, he'll give you information as you go around, as you jump to different systems. He'll tell you if there's places of interests in those systems that you might want to go and visit. And he'll tell you if there are high-grade emissions. So gradually building in more and more into the system. And we're doing it's not as bad as the taxi rides in Odyssey, but it's still far enough away for an impatient person like me. Bookmarks. Reset filters. Okay.
All filters reset, Commander.
Sort bookmarks by distance. Sort bookmarks by distance.
Confirmed, Commander.
Go to the top. So I'm just setting my bookmarks display to be the local systems from me. Go to the top. Okay. Why are you doing that? Oh, because it's my combat bookmarks. Show all bookmarks. Don't play up now. Okay, so iIndy is highlighted because that was the last place that I'd set a system for. If I want to get rid of that, I can just clear the destination. Clear destination. And that will go back to normal. Alright, so I'm just going to drop at Artemis. So I'm going to dock inside Artemis. Now, I don't use an automatic docking computer, and I'm a little bit colorblind, so occasionally I will not be able to see where the landing pad is. So I borrowed an idea from EDDI that another user told me about, and coded some directions to my landing pad for these spaceports. So if I request my docking,
Commander, landing pad 30 is located at 1 o'clock at the back, when you enter with green lights to your right.
okay,
Don't
so
forget the speed limit. Oh, who am I kidding?
so yeah, he's a bit sarcastic at times about my flying. So 1 o'clock at the back, so I know exactly where I'm heading to on my way in. Thank you very much. That makes life a lot easier. Hit the wrong button there. Good job I can't go into Super Cruise while I'm in the station.
We have docked at Artemis.
Thank you. Just a little bit on Copilot itself. So there are a bunch of preferences. I'll show you those. Preferences. Preferences. So occasionally he'll call me sir if I was female, or that way inclined he could call me mom. The temperature scale I can have in Celsius, Fahrenheit or Kelvin, which will be surface temperature on planets. A bunch of other settings on whether I want him to announce certain things as I'm flying to each station. I have just recently added an auto-launch fighter feature, which if you have HCS voice packs will detect when your fighter has been destroyed, and then will issue the deploy fighter command again for HCS to deploy. And I did that for a user who has a away from keyboard type 10, so he can keep his fighters going all night long. The landing pad directions is also switchable, the one that we just heard. And again, there's a profanity mode in here. I've turned it off for this demo. I did that at the beginning. He can be a little coarse, to say the least, but you know, funny. So if you're a sensitive person, don't switch it on. If you like that sort of thing, you will get a laugh out of it. I wanted to just talk about here the voice settings. Voice settings. So with Copilot, it uses the Windows text-to-speech, and you can actually install voices from the other language packs from Windows, and you can use them, and you can switch to them by name. So let's say I wanted to have Sarah. I can say switch to Sarah.
Sarah here, sir.
What system are we in?
Commander, we are currently in Chupkamue.
There you go. So now Sarah is the speech, and I can control the volume from here as well, and I can use voice commands for that as well. I can say Copilot volume 60% or 100%, and I can change how many words per minute they speak as well. My preference is David, but everyone has a preference. Switch to David. There are also a few
David here, awaiting your orders, sir.
a few commercial ones you can buy. So I've bought Jess from Sarah Proc, which I find okay, but it's a little choppy. And Ghost I picked up as well. I'll just demonstrate Ghost. Switch to Ghost.
Ghost is online, Commander.
So he's got a little bit of a synthetic, haunty voice. Anyway, back to David. Switch to David. Switch to David.
David here, ready and waiting, Commander.
Okay, so that's sort of the core features of Copilot. I'll just show you command reference. So I have a built-in command reference. There are a couple of hundred voice commands. You probably only need about 30 of them to do the main functions, but there's lots of little picky ones that you can do. Basically, the idea of the command reference is anything in blue is a voice command you can give it, including the how to get to the different topics within the voice command, within the command reference itself. So, for example, if I wanted to talk about limpets and fighter reminders, let's see what commands there are for that. Limpets and fighter reminders. It will take me to the section on these are the commands that I can give it. So, limpet status.
We have 12 limpets on board. Reminder level for this ship is 10. Nag mode is on. We have 12 tons of cargo and a total capacity of 16 tons.
Okay, so he just gives you a little blurb about what you have set for the ship. So you can set a reminder for how many limpets you want him to remind you about on each of your ships. So in this one I have 12. If I go to Starport Services, I'm probably sitting with 16, I'm going to guess. I think that's what he just said. So I will drop this. Oh, the reminder level was 12 and I had 12, so I'm just going to drop it down to 2. Okay, 1. So I think the next time I dock, he should start to nag me because I don't have enough limpets in. Similarly, he will nag me if I have a fighter bay in, but I don't have my crew assigned. And there is a nag mode. He will nag you every 30 seconds when you're on the pad, if nag mode is on, until you actually buy enough for him to stop. You can just disable it completely for this ship with the disable limpet reminders. And if he's really getting to you, you can either say nag mode off.
Don't forget to buy some limpets while we are here, Commander.
There you go. He's just woken up and told me I need to buy limpets. Or you can say shut up about the effing limpets, which sometimes when he's nagged you so much is quite satisfying. Okay, so that's sort of command reference in a nutshell, and Copilot. That's a quick overview. I'll do a few more videos specific to some of the topics. Okay, hope you enjoyed.